Greetings, friends. If you're watching this video, then there's a good chance that you're either reading my Easter book, Reaching Toward Easter, which is a series of devotional readings through Lent, or you've come across this because you're in the habit of checking out my videos. Regardless, you're welcome to this discussion. I'm specifically making today's video in response to a question from my friend Al Payton, who lives out in San Diego, California, and he's involved with a couple of church groups who are using Reaching Toward Easter for their Lenten study. And he wanted me to address the question specifically, why did I write the book, and what's the general direction and the general point? Well, the reason I write any book is because it flows out of my experience, my spiritual experience at the time, and it helps me, and then I just get to share that with everybody else. Long story short, I grew up in England in a Protestant household where we observed Shrove Tuesday with the pancakes, which was awesome. My mother's pancakes are just irreplaceable. And then there was really no, in my memory, no real observance of Lent until all of a sudden it was Palm Sunday, Holy Week, and then Easter. And as I've become older, I've begun to realize that there's a value to what I like to call the sacred rhythm of the church calendar, or the ecclesiastical year. There are times such as Advent, Christmas, Epiphany, Lent, Ordinary Time, Pentecost, all of these things that we attend to in the progression of the year that draw our attention to specific elements of faith and help us fall into a pattern of thinking seriously about different issues. For me, as I have grown older, it's my experience of sacred rhythm, just in the same way that you have winter, spring, summer and fall, that you have the months of the year, that you have daytime and nighttime, harvest and sowing. All of these rhythms are a natural part of who we are and our experience of being human beings. And rather than just do the same thing every Sunday, to have a Christian year that helps direct us spiritually has been really good. And so I wanted to have a Lent experience that was more deliberate. Over the past few years, being part of the Presbyterian Church, I've had a lot of wonderful Lenten experiences. And so what I decided to do a couple of years ago was to write a daily devotion for myself, kind of like a blog, in which I journaled my way from Shrove Tuesday, Ash Wednesday, through to Holy Week and Easter. And by doing that, I found that when Holy Week came, I was ready to experience everything that God had to teach me, because I'd been spending time already on the dusty road to Jerusalem, walking with Jesus, sitting at table with him at Bethany, listening to the stories, interacting. And so Holy Week, the week of Passion, was much more meaningful that year. So I approached my editors at Upper Room Books and said that I think I've got a sense of direction for a new project, and they gave me the go-ahead to do this book. We called it Reaching Toward Easter because there's an element of intentionality and deliberateness about not just experiencing Easter, but reaching out and embracing the sacred rhythm. So for me, I expanded the idea and it helped me more. And for thousands of people throughout the United States, it's been an eye-opening and a deeply self-evaluative experience of journeying with Jesus. I really want you to hang in with the study to the very end, because I think, in my opinion, that it's the day after Easter. I take the devotional or the meditations all the way to Easter Monday. It doesn't end on Easter Day, in which we introduce, or I introduce, this concept of what I call the second week of creation. That God has given us not going back to the old life, not resurrection of coming back to life, but resurrection into newness of life through Christ. And so what is possible because of Easter is dynamic, it's vital, it's part of God's continual recreation, including us. And so my invitation for all of us is to participate in this study. Begin reading anytime you like, but it's best if you start at Shrove Tuesday, the day before Ash Wednesday, and just kind of go through a day at a time. And what you will have done is you will have experienced all of the latter half of John's Gospel. And then, when we talk about what it means to live into the second week of creation, to be new creatures with Christ, I think you'll have a better understanding and a better frame of reference to move forward into the rest of your lives as followers of Jesus. So I'm Derek Maul. I hope I haven't rambled too much, but that's some of my background and my insights into why I believe reaching toward Easter is an experience which should give you exactly what you're looking for. Let me know. You can reach me at derekmaul@gmail.com, and you can read my blog daily at www.derekmaul.wordpress.com, and maybe you can share some ideas and tell me how this is going. God bless you, and God be with you on the journey to Easter.